That's when he quit, is when you are destroyed. So you said, hell no, I'm not going. Or what you said. That's what y'all said. And so, I don't know, y'all laughing, but they sang the song in the church now. I don't want to go to hell. 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 That's the way it went. Amen. They don't sing that very much in the church. I be honest with you, I think they probably ought to pick it up. There's so many folk going, it seems like signed up. Might ought to dust that old hymn off. Huh? Is it a hymn? It ain't made it a hymn yet. He said it ain't no hymn yet. And we ought to add that one to the book. Amen. It ought to be called Hell No in the hymnal. Something happened to Pastor Ringel today. Thank you. And so, Matthew 8:36, and I'm finished. Matthew 8:36, read for me.
Matthew 8?
8:36.
No, sir.
No, Mark, I'm sorry. I see it. It's Mark 8:36, 37 and 38, them three verses. Mark, the 8th chapter.
Mark 8:36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
And is that 38?
38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels.
Now, 38 is a little extra. I want to talk about 36 and 37, but I want to include this in it. But so the Bible asks that famous question, what does it profit a man to gain the world? And then it wants to know, what will you give in exchange for your soul? And so it wants to know, what does it profit you? And then since you thought it was a profit, well, what are you willing to give in exchange for your soul? Notice soul, put 37 up. So is it, 37. What shall a man give in exchange for his soul? The reason why soul is here, notice it didn't say for your house, your car, your money. Didn't name any material thing. The reason why, the only thing that matters to Jesus Christ is your soul. That's what he died for, was your soul. This is the only thing that has interest above anything else, is your soul. This is why salvation and redemption from sin couldn't be purchased with money. Because if it was a price put on it, ain't none of us in here could actually afford it. Right? It would be all bought up by Bill Gates and all of the rest of them rich fellas. Jeff Bezos, and you can go down the list, and there wouldn't be any salvation left for us. Because they would have bought it all up. But Jesus sets the bar a little different. The expectation and the requirement is different. And in fact, what it requires is that everybody becomes humble. And not put their trust in these things and actually put their trust in him. And so that becomes very challenging for people. So he asked, this is the question, well then what will you give in exchange for your soul? Your soul. Well, actually you shouldn't give anything in exchange. Success, you can acquire any of those things. You can live in the best neighborhood, drive the finest car, eat the finest food. And at the end of the day, it will never be greater than the value of your soul. That is what the Lord values. Now, we can look at that and say, well, that's what he values. But see, the problem is, it's just like when you leave the country, you've got to take money and you have to get it exchanged. Because when you go to Canada or Mexico, the value of money isn't the same. So if you want to be able to buy or get your money's worth, you need to go to an exchange.
That's right.
Well, when you get to heaven, you need to have went by the exchange. Because cash won't work there.
That's right.
And your PhD won't work there. And all of those things that we acquired in this world, in this country, won't work in that country.
Yeah.
And so then the only thing that matters is what this country will accept. Now they tell me, I haven't been there yet, but if you go to a Cavs game, they no longer accept cash. They're strictly all anybody can verify that? Nobody? But that's where they are. It's all, electronic. So if you happen to go there without a debit card or credit card and you're at the Cavs game, and I'm sure a lot of other places are going to go like that as well. And so then it is the same here. And so then Jesus is only concerned about the man's soul.
Yes.
And he wants to know, well, then what will you give in exchange for that? Well, somebody read the Bible. Now, let's go to Matthew, the 4th chapter, verse 8 and 9. And I'm going to come back to Mark 38. He says, well, what will you give in exchange? Well, some people decided, you know what, I'm going to sell my soul.
Yeah.
And this is what they came up with. What did I say? Matthew 4 and 8. Well, read.
Again, the devil taketh him up.
Let's stop right there. I just wonder how it's the devil again. You're like, man, don't he quit? Nope. There he is. Well, let's go ahead.
Again, the devil taketh him up unto an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdom of the world, and the glory of them.
Now, he took Jesus. This is the devil and Jesus. Well, I told you, they enemies. And he tried to get Jesus to come on his side. And this is what he offered him. And what did he say? What's the next verse?
Verse 9.
Verse 9.
And saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
He said, if you worship me, Jesus, I'll give you all of